I am a family lawyer. My client's ex claims she was too unstable to have custody of their daughter. His proof was her social media about mental health, until I showed the judge his own private messages. I've handled hundreds of custody cases in my career, but Emma's situation still stands out years later. She came to my office in tears, a 31-year-old kindergarten teacher who hadn't seen her 6-year-old daughter in 3 weeks. Her ex-husband Mark had filed an emergency motion for full custody, claiming Emma was mentally unstable and or danger to their child. Emma's Instagram account, where she openly discussed her experience with postpartum depression, which she had successfully treated 2 years earlier, and her ongoing therapy sessions. The judge had granted a temporary order limiting Emma to supervised visits until the full hearing. Mark's lawyer had packaged Emma's social media posts into a polished presentation, stripping them of context and making her advocacy for mental health awareness look like evidence of instability. What Mark didn't know was that Emma had saved every communication between them for the past 3 years. During our preparation, Emma mentioned that Mark frequently texted her cruel messages late at night, often when he'd been drinking. She showed me her phone with hundreds of saved texts. What caught my attention, though, was a particular exchange from 6 months earlier. In a moment of frustration about a schedule change, Mark had texted, "This custody arrangement is killing me. I'm only fighting for full custody because it will drop my child support to 0. I don't even want her full-time. My girlfriend isn't interested in playing mom." Emma had responded, "Are you serious? This is about Mona? You are putting our daughter through this trauma to save money." His damning reply, "It's just business, nothing personal. If you kept your crazy to yourself instead of plastering it all over Instagram, I wouldn't have anything to use against you." When the hearing date arrived, Mark's attorney went first, presenting a 15-minute slideshow of Emma's social media posts about therapy, mental health awareness, and her past experience with postpartum depression. The posts were carefully selected and taken out of context to portray Emma as unstable. The judge seemed concerned, asking Emma directly about her mental health history. She answered honestly about her treated postpartum depression and her ongoing commitment to therapy as a form of self-care and personal growth. When my turn came, I didn't immediately address the social media evidence. Instead, I asked Mark a series of seemingly unrelated questions about his parenting philosophy and motivation for seeking custody. "And would you say your pursuit of custody is motivated solely by concern for your daughter's well-being?" I asked. "Absolutely," he answered confidently. "Emma's mental instability makes her home unsafe." That's when I presented the text exchange. The courtroom fell silent as the judge read through the messages. Mark's face drained of color. His attorney frantically whispered in his ear. "Mr. Reynolds," the judge said finally, "am I understanding correctly that you initiated these proceedings not out of concern for your child, but to reduce your financial obligations?" Mark stammered something about the text being taken out of context, the exact claim he had made about Emma's social media posts. The judge not only dismissed Mark's petition for full custody, but reversed the temporary order, granting Emma primary custody with Mark receiving standard visitation. In Change D, the judge ordered Mark to pay Emma's legal fees $28,000. But the most satisfying moment came in the judge's closing comments. "Mr. Reynolds, this court views mental health treatment not as evidence of instability, but of responsibility and self-awareness. What concerns this court deeply, however, is the willingness to weaponize a parent's mental health journey and to use a child as leverage for financial gain." As we left the courtroom, Emma whispered, "I never deleted a single text, not one." Sometimes the best legal strategy isn't complicated arguments or obscure precedents. Sometimes it's simply making sure your receipts are longer than their lies.